Okay, here we have this Mamod SE3 dating from 1978. This is a sight glass model. Doesn't seem any leaks from the sight glass, so I'm running it on solid fuel ESBIT, 2 thick tablets. Seems to be just about ready, so let's give it a go. There you have it. You can see even with the solid fuel, the flame is still coming up over the side. Takes longer to heat up. Meths is almost an instantaneous heat. But as we can see, this SE3 working perfectly well. You can see the flame coming up the side there. It's a little bit too much. The sight glass came in 78 to conform to European Directive EN 71. So essentially the writing was already on the wall for these, in as much as that once the sight glasses were in, the next let's say compliance that Malin's engineers had to comply with was to ensure that this fire, the flame, is encased more effectively inside the firebox. So this gap that you see on the top of the firebox had to be closed over, hence that's why by the time these sight glasses appeared on these engines, they were already drawing and planning the SP series of engines. That said, this one runs very well. There are no leaks from it. We tend to find the seals perish over time. But apart from a bit of a sticky whistle, which I've had to change, and a slightly seized safety valve, although the heat of the boiler is going to solve this. It's steaming extremely effectively. I don't think it's had a tremendous amount of wear. I mean, the decal on the end of the firebox is very, very good condition. The base is very shiny. There's still a lot of lacquer on the boiler, and overall it's a nice looking engine. You say very much unchanged almost in its entire life, apart from the addition of the sight glass. The firebox is slightly different shape, so as it can only make sure that you can only fit in the solid fuel burner, but apart from that, and a slightly redesigned base plate, this is exactly how the engine looked when it left the factory in its first incarnation in 1957. I've given this one a thorough oiling, but you'll probably need another little going over again. I tend to find they do. Fortunately, the oiling holes are still present even at this time. One of the carryovers from the earlier engines, the other SEs, had long since disappeared. There's obviously a smell of ESBIT in here while the engine steams. But as you can see, apart from that rather worrying flame, which seems to be very, very close to the regulator stopcock, it sort of met some of the legislation and sort of kept it on the toy shelves for a few more years. It was on borrowed time, and so in some respects they were quite dated by then, although obviously today retro is very, very big. Excuse my shadow. The decal doesn't tend to get so hot at that edge. You tend to find it survives better. That's a compressed scallop edge decal. You could also get those on little minor ones. There we have it, a 1978 Mamod SE3, probably the last of the line nearly, and was steaming actually on solid fuel. And I can report that the sight glass, which obviously does have a tendency to leak, is sound and perfectly serviceable on this particular engine.